All right, 4 o'clock on a Friday. We made it. Good morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us right here on the PIX11 Morning News. I'm Vanessa Freeman. Craig does have the morning off. Let's start you off on this Friday with a look at your weather and traffic. Alexa Farrell watching the roads and the rails, and meteorologist Stacy-Ann Gooden has our forecast.
Yeah.
Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
What a night.
Yes, I mean, it's the calm after the storm,
Yeah.
and we did have, as you mentioned in the opening, there's tons of storm reports, and we're going to zoom on in and show you just some of them that we have in our system here. Now, first off, in Merrick, Nassau County, we have a large tree that blocked the road. This is on Clubhouse Road, and that was around 7:30 p.m. And as we talked about, the time frame between 2 p.m. and around 9, even 10 o'clock from west to east, these storms are traveling across our area. Elmhurst, Queens, trees and wires across 60th Place and Flushing Avenue in Maspeth. This was right around the 5 o'clock hour. So as we talked about, those damaging winds definitely did play a major role. It was like a wind-driven type of storm. We also had some heavy downpours across the area, some rumbles of thunder that lingered for a while, as well as lightning across the area. Now that system has moved out. Winds out of the west, northwest. The cold front has moved through. However, still a little muggy. Right now, these are temperatures. We'll have a closer look at this big warm up. We're talking record heat headed our way. Alexa Farrell with traffic.
The PIX11 traffic.
To quote, zoom in on me when I'm 80. People's phones to try to watch the show. And it's like, we're here, we paid for our tickets, so let's enjoy the experience, and you know.
Yeah, I usually take the plan to take one video just to remember something, and then I am present and enjoying and singing and dancing.
I see your points, but on the flip side, the Travis Scott concert, you remember Astroland travesty, and that was ended up in tragedy with folks being trampled to death. So sometimes you need your phones just so you can call for help in that kind of
a lot of that footage ended up in court for those,
so it proved to be a very integral part of that. Alrighty, on the flip side, here we go. Here's a look at rainfall totals from yesterday. So we're right within the range that we were talking about. We did mention that locally we have higher amounts, but on average close to around ½ an inch or so at Central Park. A little bit less. So some areas got a little over ¼ an inch, as we see in Kennedy, even less in Islip. So it really did depend on where those cells did set up shop, and that's what we talked about yesterday. In addition to that, we had some peak wind gusts, 61 miles per hour at Newark. I think that was the highest that clocked in at. 24 mile per hour at Central Park. Believe it or not, it doesn't seem that high, but lightning was certainly a big part of what was happening last night, especially at Central Park. I believe someone was struck by lightning and did survive, but all in all, it was pretty treacherous conditions all around with those strong gusty winds, those heavy downpours, the rumbles of thunder. Right now, it's a quiet now after the storm. Temperatures are in the 60s all around, low 70s, Newark, New Jersey, Islip. So it is a bit cooler since that cold front came through, but it's still a little muggy, and it's going to warm right back up. As we take a look at current winds versus wind gusts, still in the 20s, LaGuardia as well as Islip, but averaging consistent wind speeds in the teens mainly. Winds out of the west, northwest. It'll start to shift just a little bit. We'll still have that big warm up that's in store, courtesy of that ridge we talked about with the positioning of the jet stream. High pressure is in control. And speaking of that jet, this is the pattern for next week. We are talking hazy, hot, humid days, the potential for record-breaking temperatures. I think we're on track for just that. Some areas could even get to triple digits. I know Central Park is usually a struggle to get as high as other areas, especially further inland with that land breeze being persistent. So here's a look at where we stand. Afternoon temperatures in the 80s, low to mid 80s, maybe a little bit cooler near the immediate coastline, but all in all, it's going to be a very warm day. Just in time to welcome the official start of summer later on tonight at 10:42. Temperatures in the 60s, low 70s. And here are heat indices as we look forward to next week. 102 right around the 6 p.m. hour. That's figure later in the day, closer to sunset. It's still feeling quite oppressive. Same rings true as we head into Monday afternoon. Feeling a little bit better near the coast, but still triple digits, especially around the city and areas north and west, guys. So get ready for it. This is dangerous type of heat. heat situation that we have going, and it does last at least through Wednesday. Thursday looks like the temperatures will come down a bit, but still hot nonetheless. Now, we do have an excessive heat watch that's going to go into effect as well next week. We'll talk about that, but I wanted to show you our 7-day outlook. Temperatures well into the 80s. The peak heat Monday and Tuesday, where we have the potential for highs in the upper 90s, maybe even low 100s. Alexa.
Wow, Stacy-Ann, going to be hot out there.
Phones to capture life's moments. Well, this 5 o'clock, and good morning to you on this Friday. Thank you so much for waking up with us right here on the PIX11 Morning News. I'm Vanessa Freeman. Craig does have the morning off. We start you off with a look at your weather and traffic on this first day of summer. Yes. Alexa Farrell out to the roads and the rails, and meteorologist Stacy-Ann Gooden still busy in the weather center.
Yes, absolutely. Just as we welcome in a whole new season, we welcome in some storms last night that folks are still probably dealing with the after effects, the aftermath of it all. Let's zoom on in and take a look at some of these storm reports that came through. Middlesex, East Brunswick, we had multiple trees and power lines down, and that was estimated on our radar at 6:30. So there were plenty of storm reports, especially across the Garden State, and there was some reported in points east, especially Nassau County, and even in Queens, Colts Neck, Monmouth County. We had a tree that came through homes that was on Wedgwood Avenue, and just before 7 p.m. So these storms did rip through the area. 85, that is our expected high, a few degrees above average. So although we've cooled down from yesterday, it's still unseasonably warm just as we begin this new season. Harding Park, Marble Hill, Wakefield, Parkchester. If you're in the Bronx, this is what it is right now. Upper 60s, low 70s. And don't get too used to this. I mean, it's going to get hotter. Let's take a look now where we stand this afternoon. Temperatures well into the 80s, the best place to be to cool off. It looks like if you head to the waters, you should be okay. Water temperatures at around 65, 3 to 4 feet on the ocean, 1 to 2 at the sound, and winds are picking up into the teens near 20 miles per hour. There's your 3-day, your 7-day coming up, Alexa.
Thank you so much. Happy first day.
Yeah.
East, west, north, south, it didn't matter. I was just like, dang, rubbernecking and all. Yes, but hopefully you won't be slowed down too much with the sun glare.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, if you're heading some, high clouds, like this little like cumulus clouds, mid-level clouds moving through the area. Nothing to write home about. As far as what's going on right now, we'll zoom on in because we do have some storm reports to talk about. Washington Crossing. This was in Mercer County, a little outside of our coverage area, but we had several down tree limbs just around 8 p.m. Just after 6 p.m., Lawrence Township, also in Mercer, multiple trees and wires down. As Alexa mentioned, there's still some residual issues.
The longest day of the year. Can't imagine what that's like.
What a way to bring in the summer, right?
It's today, though, and not like next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. I was going to say it would be hot yoga, but it's only 68 degrees outside. So nice and cool though for them.
Yeah. Perfect.
Might be smart to go ahead and get it out the way now, because once it starts to get hot, based on what you were saying, I'm afraid to even be outside.
Yeah, it's going to be like the kind of heat, where you can't breathe because it's just like hot air. Yeah. I mean, start the hydration process, start the cooling off process, have that contingency plan if you are going to be heading out and about. Yes, now is a good time to enjoy that yoga or that run or that walk. Taking a look at some storm reports. Again, much of the storm damage occurred in New Jersey, Cranford, which is in Union County. We had multiple trees and a large tree limb down. That came in at around the 4 o'clock hour. Harding, Morris County, multiple trees as well. These trees were uprooted. There's tree branches everywhere. I know I saw a lot of it on my way in as well. So definitely just take with caution, because as Callum mentioned and as Alexa also mentioned, that there could be some storm damage preventing you from getting from point A to point B. So right now temperatures are in the upper 60s, low 70s. Here's a quick look at your planner. Sending it over to you, Alexa.
Stacy-Ann, thank you so much.
Saturday, figure before the 9 o'clock hour across parts of the Hudson Valley and even northern New Jersey, Passaic, Bergen County there. Some heavy downpours or moderate downpours moving through, but by the afternoon we're good to go. It's not going to be an all-day washout type of scenario. As a matter of fact, winds, it looks like now it's shifting gears, becoming more southwesterly. That ridge, that's what's going to aid in bringing in that hot, humid air. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s right now. Winds are still picking up into the teens, gusting into the 20s and 30s, something that we're going to be watching. So just keep that in mind. Be careful. Any leftover debris on the roads or even wires, dodge them, avoid them totally. Low to mid 80s, a nice warm sunshiny day. First day of summer, officially arriving, of course, at 10:42 p.m. Upper 60s, low 70s, and look ahead, nice and comfortable. Let's skip ahead to the 7-day outlook. Before that, the sun and sand. Of course, I got to show you that, right? 3 to 4 feet on the ocean, 1 to 2 at the sound. UV index very high at 9. And there you have it, our 7-day. We'll send it over to Alexa Farrell.
This PIX11
Morning News.
Take a chance on that boat.
Yeah, here we go. Slowly coming in. The sun is up. It looks still out there, too, and a honk there for you, too. Thank you for staying with the PIX11 Morning News. Your time right now is 8:32. We are excited because it's Friday. It's warm. There's sunshine. We are just checking the boxes so far.
It's the first day of summer.
Yes.
So happy summer to you.
And it feels like it.
Yes, it does.
In a good way.
In a good way, because remember, like last week, we were like, come on. What is it, like March? Like, come on. But yes, the heat will be on today, but in a good way, because it's going to be warm. It's not going to be as sticky of a feel. You know, when I came in this morning, I was like, it still feels a little muggy, but it did get better with those dew points descending into the 50s, which is what we want. Winds out of the northwest, you saw those wind particles, upper 60s, low 70s, so already seeing 70-degree readings. Islip 72, West Hampton the same deal, 67 Montgomery, 69 White Plains, as well as New York City, not bad. Now, it's a little cooler than yesterday, but these negatives are going to turn into positives in a big way, especially by next week. I'm telling you, the heat will be on. Getting away for the weekend, here's what you need to know before you go. Temperatures are expected to rise into the upper 70s if you're at Lake George, Poconos, 80s, low 80s, Hamptons, as well as Cape May. And then Saturday actually is feeling a little bit better than it is here as far as the heat's concerned. More on that coming up. We'll send it back over to Justin and Hazel now.
Freezing because of the heat on the back of your neck. So
wow.
I just think when you're in that chair and like if you're getting the face work, you may as well take the rest and hit the hot points.
You pay per vial.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
stretch that dollar out. And it's
hit me in the
armpit.
Here's my list here. All the spots I want you to hit.
Just another
Justin is like, I converted.
She
figured that out. That's crazy.
Yep. So she's still trying to figure out whether women are seeing density because they're not using heat products or whether the Botox is actually helping the hair grow. So we're, they're still looking at, the isolated studies for those. And some women also are seeing less gray.
That's a good thing.
Okay, sign me up.
Talk about a money saver right there.
I think next up, Stacy-Ann, you have to start doing like a Botox forecast, right? Like it might be a 3-shot day.
Oh my God. You know what? That is good. Thank you for that idea. I'll further investigate. And we'll bring you the latest. Okay. All right. I love it, though. You learn something new every day. It's always fun to learn something new. All right, here's what's happening. Winds out of the northwest. Taking a look. Let's zoom out. In the wake of that system, it had a lot of storm damage, no doubt, but it brought in less humid air. So we have the warmth, but it's a more comfortable kind of feel when you step outside. Let's take a look at our preset futurecast. Yeah, there may be a spot drizzle, like something really quick hit moving. Not everybody's getting it for sure. And then a greater chance in the early morning hours tomorrow. So you figure before the 10 o'clock hour, there could be a brief, quick shower moving across parts of northern New Jersey, the Hudson Valley, maybe even Nassau County. And it's not going to be an all-day thing. It'll provide a little bit of cool down in the anticipation of the big warm-up. As a matter of fact, temperatures are really going to skyrocket this weekend. We'll start to feel that warmth getting underway tomorrow, more so for your Sunday. Upper 60s, low 70s. We have a low to mid 80s this afternoon. A great day for the beach, guys. Winds out of the west later on today, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. Again, looking ahead, high pressure taking control. We may have some showers, but that's well north of here. It's going to be a nice dry stretch after what we get through tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, you'll need the sunscreen, the sunglasses. You want to limit your time outdoors as the heat gets underway. It'll be pretty intense. We talked about the excessive heat watch or extreme heat watch now that's in play early next week. I wanted to point your attention to some of these forecasted highs versus record highs. There is a potential to shatter previous records held across our area Monday, Tuesday. We could see triple digits around the area, and even Wednesday. So upper 90s, low 100s, quite possible. Extreme heat watch underway. The peak heat Monday and Tuesday. Still pretty hot. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. It's still going to be a hot one as we head into Wednesday. Unfortunately.
All right.
Awesome.
You got it?
Yes.
All right, breakups with Ben coming up.
Yep, breakups with Ben. Let's do it.
That's the new series.
Stacy-Ann, how's it going?
It's going good. I mean, today, after all of that rain, I'm sorry it rained on your event. Okay, but now no rain in the forecast, at least for now. Tomorrow morning, there could be some showers, quick moving before like 9, 10 o'clock. But other than that, we are nice and dry, winds out of the northwest. Let's zoom on out. Still a little bit breezy throughout the day. That'll be the case in the wake of that system. High pressure in control. Temperatures, went up again. I love that. 71 in New York City, White Plains, 74 Islip. Now, keep in mind, I mean, this is like the comfortable kind of heat. This is the heat that you want because you have it without the humidity. Look at dew point temperatures in the 50s. So it kind of gives us an idea of how it feels when we step outside. Whenever you have these dew point temperatures in the 50s, it feels good. It feels real good. Don't forget the sunscreen, the sunglasses, especially if you are heading to the beach. Very important. It's a little bit cooler near the coast. 3 to 4 feet on the ocean, 1 to 2 at the sound. Water temperature 64. Don't forget to swim near lifeguards. UV index very high at 9. Also, just keep in mind the dew point temperatures are low. Pollen count is low. Great for the baseball game. No issues stuff to contend with. There's a look at your
Say a summer.
We got to find out how they do in this tournament. I know they're going to crush it. All right, yes, we are experiencing the first official start of summer, which officially gets underway at 10:42 tonight. And we're already feeling the warmth, guys. And it's the warmth without the humidity and a nice breeze to go along with it. You need the sunscreen, the sunglasses if you are heading out, high pressure and control. It's a little bit breezy. Will be today. I'm noticing there's just a couple spot showers, sprinkles. May not materialize at all, but it's worth noting just in case if you feel a little droplet on your skin as you make your way out. More so in the morning hours, though, for your Saturday. Starts off a little wet, moving from northwest to southeast, and it's a quick moving little minor system that's going through the area. By the afternoon, we're nice and dry. There could be a sprinkle or two by Saturday. It looks like later in the day around the 5 o'clock hour tomorrow, so nothing to write home about. And then as we head into Sunday, it's going to be a stretch of dry weather. As a matter of fact, the heat will be upon us. We talked about the extreme heat watch that is going to be at play early next week. There may be some updates, including some upgrades and expansion of that watch. So here's a look ahead. We are going to be nice and dry. Could be some record numbers, both in